Greetings, welcome to day 89 of Project Dig. Thanks for joining. Project Dig is a 2D multiplayer automation survival game that I am developing entirely here on Twitch and uploading all the VODs to YouTube. I've been working on this custom game engine, and we have particles kind of working now, which is awesome. And we also have some other new things thanks to Andrew. Specifically, we have a new Visual Studio project that is being generated by CMake, which is really cool. That will make it much easier for supporting other platforms. Andrew actually has it running on Mac. That's awesome. And so it's like super easy to build and set up, which is great. And then the other thing is that what else did we do? Well, I should say, what did Andrew do? Which is he also moved our build to a separate thread. Sorry, not our build, our engine, rendering engine, or what am I saying? Let me drink more coffee. Okay, that's good. He moved our rendering to a new thread, which is great because we see a huge performance increase. So this is running everything new. Got this running this morning. Our frame rate is, so this is with it doing the lighting. So it's like 1700, and then if we have it, so it's drawing a bunch of, like, the lighting is not super performant yet because I was still working on it. But yeah, it's running at, I don't know why it's only at, it was at 2500 earlier. I don't know why it changed. But anyways, you can see we have super high frame rate. This is in release mode. In debug mode, we're up at like 800 FPS. So that's awesome to have it be running on a separate thread. Looks like it wasn't too difficult to do. Yeah. So that's great. Another change that was made with all the CMake stuff is that there's like some cross-platform compatibility support. Let me pull this up. I think the biggest one is that let's see, types. Here we go. The sparse hash were removed in favor of this pH map utils, which I'm not super familiar with, but we can take a look at that. One nice thing about that change is then we don't have to provide this stupid it's not that stupid, but the empty key and deleted key, it just like makes the interface a little bit more cumbersome to use the hash maps. But anyways, so let's go to types. I wanted to take a look at that header pH map utils. Hash. Where's the hash map? Wait. So a hash map is a node hash map and a hash set. It's in parallel hash map include I see. It's in here. Apparently, it has all of those functions, which is cool. Let's see here. Does it have contains function? It does not. Oh no, it does. It does. Cool. Nice. So that's cool too. I'm done with that. It looks like it works perfectly fine, which is great. Great. The reason for that change is that Andrew says it's more cross-platform compatible than the sparse hash. So yeah. Oh, that's right. There's the file system. Yeah, apparently file system is not available. Oh, there's PHMap. File system's not available on the compiler on Mac, and so like they don't have it yet. Hopefully one day they will, and then we could get rid of that. But anyways, so that's all great. So yeah, we have particles. I guess I can show that off here. This is what we got working yesterday. I need to like just hide the UI. So we can press P and it just spits out these particles. Which is defined inside of game.cpp. Let's go to particle. There we go. So this is what's defining how this works. And that's all happening inside of our particle namespace, which is in particle.cpp. I thought I got rid of that. Seeds particle. Thought I got rid of that. Oh, you know what? I probably got rid of it, but did not delete the file. Okay. So what we'll do is go, and it probably just got automatically included in the new thing. Yeah. We'll go to source seeds particle, delete that file. And I'm guessing it's the same with include. Yeah, there we go. So we just got rid of those two. Removed particle source files. Okay. Great, so what are we doing today? We're going to be working on, I should probably remove it from here too. We are going to be working on a UI for the particle system. I think I'm just going to do something basic for now that will get us like 90% of the way there. And then I think once we play around with it more and everything, then we'll kind of figure out exactly what we want to change about it. So it's going to have a fairly similar interface to what that what was that program called again? Pixel FX Designer. So this is what I was thinking we could use. It's probably not going to look exactly like this. Like what I'm thinking, yeah, it absolutely will not look exactly like this. I don't think we really need a timeline. I don't really see the point in that. I wonder what this is. Okay, actually I have no idea what these are. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Anyways. So it has an emitter. We're not going to have a difference between a particle emitter and a pixel renderer. At least not to start with. Maybe in the future we could do something like, here's the raw emitter and here's what it's going to look like in the game with a bunch of shaders applied to it. Or like potentially we have shaders. We're not gonna have motion or timeline. Timeline speed. I don't really understand what that is either. I mean, I guess really what mostly what we're gonna have is just like this stuff, the speed, direction, angle, life, maybe the orientation, the color, and we probably need to have support for like selecting the visuals. Huh. Yeah. Ding blood. Wow. I don't know what this is. It's too much. I was just trying to understand what's going on. um, Looks like it's just randomly placing it somewhere. Shape, rectangle, circle. But it has 0 on both of those. I don't understand what it's doing exactly. Oh, there we go. Ah, there we are. I guess it was being able to move it. Oh, I see. It's just rotating it, but it's not actually moving it. There we are. That makes more sense now. I was curious to see if it's like cut off, and it is, which is kind of weird that they would do that. But anyways, doesn't matter to us. That's kind of cool looking. What? I was curious. So this just moves it. Oh, this like moves the origin. I see. That's actually kind of cool. I get it now. So this is the origin. So if you center it, then this gets centered. Yeah, that's cool. Right now I was just thinking that the origin is always in the center, but this is cool as well. Hey, Jeremy, what's up, man? And it supports scaling as well. I actually don't have support for that. How do you make it so the delay? Ah, there we go. How often it emits. Yeah. Oh. can you just say it's white? That's the default color. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, just playing around with this still. What does it blink? I guess it depends on the life. Yeah, it's like slowly, it creates a new particle every single time. But anyways, those are like cool effects. Anyways, we kind of do need to have support for some of this stuff. This is interesting. You can rotate it. I don't know what the animation speed is because I don't really know how I don't see a way for you to like select it to be animated. Wow, that does not convert to pixels well at all. Oh, fire. Anyways, so kind of need something to be able to select the texture. I don't think we have to have a preview of it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to do that in the future, but I don't know if we really need that right now. What's this? Is that for this thing? Anyways, so I'm just kind of thinking, what all do we need here? Maybe we should make a list. Okay, we'll do this. So we're gonna say that for now, this is done. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe not. We're gonna move this over here. We're going to kind of let's make a task list. To do, is that what it's called? Yeah, to do list. What do we need? Do we want it to be to do? Maybe not. Maybe we'll have a bullet list for now. What are things that we want to have on this? So we need the speed, properties, which are speed. I think I'm gonna collapse this down. Speed, direction, angle, lifespan, and life. So this is particle lifespan, and then it's the emitter life. We have a delay, emitter, delay, the orientation. Okay. I think that's it for now. With the properties, right? Scale. That's another one. And color. Okay. And then we can do stuff for, oh, there's the amount. That's right. emitter, we'll put it down here. Emitter amount. Frequency, that's the live. Delay. Yeah, that's another one. Emitter, whoops. Emitter frequency. All right, I think that's it. For those, maybe I will split this up into two things. Well, we'll have the particle lifespan. So this is particle properties, lifespan, and then we have, it's more of the channel properties, which is the life, delay, frequency, amount. And I think that's it. Oh, there's technically deltas for these, plus the delta, 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 delta. Let's put this one at the top. Okay, so that covers all of these like basic properties. We do have, it's kind of, I guess, part of the properties, but it's kind of separate as well, which is the particle texture stuff. Particle, or it's almost like the channel. I don't know. I suppose they're kind of shared. The channel, or we'll just call it like, I don't know, the sprite information? What do they call it here? They call it visuals. Sure, we can call it visuals. Which is the texture. The texture rect. We could, if we really wanted to, we could do input frame width. Oh, that's how that works. Wonder if they have. Sprite. Oh, you have to pick the sprite. I see. Got it. So, yeah, we won't worry about that. Got it. So this supports animated sprites. So like if we really wanted to, maybe I could just look at this really quick. We have this here. I don't remember the size. Size is 128, 128. Okay, well there we go. So 128. Okay, pressing enter does not actually go to OK, and then let's just jump to this folder. Nice. That's cool. So that's the little particle. Interesting how okay, how do I get, whoops, I don't want that. How do we get the sprite render to happen? Scale of render. Front, I don't know what that is. Wait, how do I get it to render here again? Oh, here we go, start render. Oh, whoops. It's interesting how it it does the pixel rendering, but I wonder if you can like turn that off. I don't know what the manual render is. Let's see. Keyframes, loop animation, render FPS. Clear the screen every frame. Huh. Yeah, it's weird that it seems like you can't get rid of the particle rendering, which is kind of actually dumb, I think. I don't know, maybe you can. Palette. I mean, it's cool that you can like change the palette for this stuff. Oops, I don't want it to render anymore. Why? Oh, there we go. Where did color? Like, that's really cool that you can do stuff like that. Change the palette around. I mean, you can't really see. This isn't a good example because it's mostly white. But anyways, I was just playing around with this a little bit more. So, as far as these options go, the one that we mostly need is the texture and the texture rect, which could kind of be combined. Like, we could have it so it's like included somehow or something. Like, it would be cool to have some more of these features, but it's not completely necessary. Like, do we really need to be able to scale it? X and Y scale, or change like the animation speed, like we don't really care about that. I don't even know. Right now we don't support animations, so I don't know if we will. And rotation. That's kind of cool. That actually might be a useful one, which is like an additional rotation that's applied to the sprite. So this is like, it's always set on that, and then I think it adds to it. So here we have like this that's moving in those different directions, but then we can rotate it, which is actually really hard to see what's going on. I guess we would have to move the speed. It's pretty hard to tell what's going on there. I think it's because it moves, but it's kind of like moving backwards. You can almost see how this, it like moves in one direction, but this it kind of like moves back on itself. It's probably easier to see if we used a different. Oh, cool. Crashed. Oh, that's a good place to end that. So I'm not really sure how necessary that stuff is. I'm thinking right now we can do this, and then maybe we could say like extra visuals, optional, I don't know, bonus, more of, is like the texture scale, texture, rotation, and then being able to see the texture. It's kind of like almost like the texture selection or something. I don't know. So like you can, like how they have it, so you can see what you're selecting, so almost a preview. I really don't know how necessary that is for this. But anyways, these are like the core options. Oh wait, I have another thing which is like, oops. I guess I'll just do it here, bullet list. We need channel selection. Like maybe I'll just say these are under general options, which is channel selection, save. I guess we could have it so that it automatically saves and automatically loads our database. Well, in that case, if we're doing it that way, then channel selection, I guess what we would probably want is, so we have one of two options. Do we want to make it so that you save them individually? And then you select the file? Or do we make it so that it saves it into a database and then you select the emitter within that database? I think like either way, you have to have some way to select which emitter you are working on. I think I'd rather have it so it's just emitter selection, and then channel selection. I don't have a lot of, this is one downside to using my own UI solution, is that I don't have some of the things that would make this be super easy to do. Like I am GUI. You know, they have stuff like here where like a drop down menu, so you can easily say file open or file load. And that's really cool that you can do stuff like that. Like you can see here this person made like all of these different windows and it's just like crazy. you can see it has some options over here like selecting that sprite, and yeah, it's just like a lot of cool things that you can do within this that I just you can't do. Like being able to have the drop down menus, or some sort of file selection. Yeah. So I have to implement that stuff myself. It's not that big of a deal. Just have to figure that out, like how to do that stuff. Or like how can I implement something that's cool, localization stuff. How do I do something that's close enough? Like, we don't technically need a drop-down menu. All we need, especially if we're not loading different databases or whatever, we just have a single one that it loads up and it's always in the same place, which is fine to start with. Then what we just need is like some selection menu, which is being able to like select what is the current item that we want. We have that. Kind of. This UI is much more complicated. It's pretty cool actually. Yeah. Almost wonder if I kind of wish, at least right now, wish that we had this. This is useful for like tools. I don't know how useful it is for games. It's okay. We can make this work. And if we ever really wanted to like use, we could always switch over to using I am GUI specifically for this. Yeah. So the biggest thing I think that we need to do, or that's going to be kind of harder and different, is the emitter selection and the channel selection. Maybe what we could do is make it so like channel selection or emitter selection is just let's see here. Let's say new window. Let's make it whatever. 768. Okay, so doesn't really matter. Let's make it be like a gray color. So what I'm thinking we can do, so we're gonna have like a window that contains a lot of these options. I guess we could do something like the HUD. Hey Dallas. It's Friday. That's right. Friday. Which means nothing to me. But we could kind of do it like the HUD if we really wanted to. We could probably start this with a window though. We can make 2 windows if we really wanted to. So one window could, maybe we could have one window for now just be like kind of wide and have like a button here which is for the like current emitter. Emitter. Beautiful. And then we could have the various like channels or something. So you could like, and we could just do it kind of like what the Pixel FX does, where you have the different numbers. What they did is they actually made it so you could disable it, which is kind of cool. Maybe we could do something like that. I don't know. I kind of don't really feel like spending a lot of time on this UI at the moment. And then we can have another window that is for the current emitter. I guess we need another, like, yeah, we could do emitter and then we could have like an add emitter. I suppose that's true, is that we probably need support for, in the emitter selection, we need, you know, add, remove, and select. Yeah, and so then if you do if you do click on the emitter, it can open up another window, which would probably be kind of longer, and it could just have like a section up at the top, which is, you know, I think we'd actually want it to be more like, you know, add whatever, and then we would have a list of all of them, and that's a scroll list, and then it can have a button on the side that says like delete it. Yeah, I think that UI will work. To start, we can do the simplest solution, which is say that it always starts with a new emitter, and you're always only working with the first channel. So there's no channel selection, there's no emitter selection, right? And so we could kind of build it, I guess it would be like bottom up, where we say, okay, let's do the particle properties first. And what we might want to do eventually is like probably put it in its own code. Like, I almost wonder if we should do that now. Where do we set up the UI for this? I remember. Oh wait, there's the UI. Wait, where did it go? Initialize. Oh, I think it's this is inside of the UI manager, right? Is it? No. Where am I creating the UI at the moment? The main UI. It'd have to be after this, right? After the initialize? Am I sure it's not in here? Oh, it's probably... I forget how this works. UI directory, iterate through all the UI directories, loads the style sheet. Dig, data, UI, test UI. Where is it loading this test UI? Test.ui. It's just this right here. Yeah. Okay. So maybe for now we can just use test UI for this. Let me open. We don't want that one. dig test.ui. Here's our test UI. So we're probably going to need to make some pretty big changes with all of this, right? I think the biggest thing is that, well, we need to be able to get and change the properties on the particle channel and the emitter. Okay, so I think that's like step one. Maybe we'll just I'm kind of thinking maybe I should be making a new solution for this or something. I'm reluctant to do that right now. Well, one thing I do know we need to do is add in support for this Lua stuff, right? Lua Expo, I forget what it's even. Lua user types. We're gonna need to include this. So we have a user type. For these, right? Actually, we don't need a user type for the particle. It'd be the emitter channel, right? Yeah, we don't care what the particle is. No constructor. I think that's fine. So yeah, first thing we need to do is expose this stuff. Lua user types. And then we need to do Lua var for these, which just tells the UI, hey, you can make changes to this stuff or get access to it. I don't know about the texture. What we might end up having to do is like a function to set that up or something. Oops. Oh, we need to expose the range stuff as well. Whoops. Yeah, that's true. Okay. And emitter. I don't know. I think maybe we'll just do those for now. No constructor. I think that's fine. Oh, do I need to do that? Yeah, there we go. That should get that all happy. Nice. So that's how we expose stuff. And then we'll also need to do some of that inside of here. Do we actually not want the constructor? I wonder if we just want it to be user type. And it's fine if we have a constructor. I think it's probably fine. Let's go to range. So So range is going to be kind of like what we did for the vector. Whoops. So we need to do something kind of like this. Right. So let's go to range.h. So first up, we need to put this up here, and we have a int range and a float range for now. Probably end up having like a vector range as well in the future. So this needs to include Lua user types, correct? Yes. And then we need the Lua constructor for this here. Those three. And then we need Lua func for some of this other stuff. Oops. And then we can make these be Lua vars. Beautiful. So if we did this right, do we still have, yes, here we go. Oh no, it is not like the particle. Parse Lua user type. It has no group. Let me take a look at that. Thought it would default to itself, no? Let me see all the places I'm using this. Yeah, it should be okay to do it like that. Let me see here. Isn't that the same? Lua user type? Why is it complaining about this? Name.group1. Oh, it's actually in parse Lua var. Ah. And unfortunately, it doesn't tell me which line number. That's too bad. We might have to debug this a tiny bit here. Parse Lua var. So that's 517 and Lua expose. 517. I want to see which oh, here it is, file reader. Okay, I guess we'll just 517. And do a print line number. Oh, and we have the line print. Format line reader line number. Okay, so line doesn't include anything. That's kind of weird. So it gets down to channels. Oh, maybe it's because that's a vector. I thought that it would be able to handle this, but I guess not. Emitter channel. Why is it not able to handle that? I thought I have done that before. I guess not. It might be that it's not being able to parse it because it's templated or something. That's probably what it is. Reader. Why is line empty? That's kind of weird. I don't get that. Did I just forget to? No, it's definitely being passed in there. Line reader. Reader consume line. Func template. Func. Lower user type. Base split. I'm looking for where user type parser. I kind of forget how this all works. We parse header. So parses the user type for user type and user types. Yeah, I like completely changed this and I don't remember what it does. So it parses it and it pulls out the identifier. But I think it's just trying to parse this one line. Result. Consume line. It's using parser. Okay, let's try that. Whee! That's the line. Yep. Oh wait, was it already printing it? Oh, you know what? I think I just wasn't paying attention. It was printing it. It's just, it has a new line at the end. Wow. Okay. That's why I didn't. Okay, no. This is working. It's just, it has a new line at the end and I was not paying attention. I thought it was empty. Fail. Okay. So that makes a lot more sense. I was like, how is this working at all? So it's not being able to find the name. So let's try this. Let's actually remove. We kind of know what it is now. Oh, name, it's just a match. Duh. Here, we'll do it this way. So we have an issue with our regex. Think technically it should just be this one line, right? So I believe the issue is that matches any white space, matches any digit character. Yeah, Lua Funk. I think I need something kind of like this. it supports an equal operator. Yeah, so I think what we need to do is say, so this supports any word character, alphanumeric or number score. Okay, so let's simplify this a little bit. So we got that. So that's where it's kind of choking, right? Okay. Still does not like that. It says space. Oh, wait. Word, space equals space or space with some stuff. And this is all optional. I think technically this stuff should go over here. This is matches a star character. Oh, it's for pointers, right? There we go. So group 2 is channels. Group 1 is vector. Yeah. All right. I think that's what we need. Is this right here? So we just need to say, hey, support these characters as well. It's still saying that object has an attribute group, none type. So name is none. Oh yeah, I see that here. Which means it's not matching on this still. Okay, let me... Oh, wait. Oh. Read only. Well, we technically need to do this, but I got the wrong one. Hey, that fixed it. It seems we can double check that by saying what. So we have name. We'll say group 1 name.group 2. Got a lot further. Okay, here's particle. Here we go. Nice. So that looks like that works now. So we had just a little bug in there, kind of. All right, so we're having this other issue with the templating. It says starts with assert. The next line starts with template. Oh, I have a space there. That's it. Hey, there we go. Nice. Hey, Jacomus, what's up? Okay, cool. So with that, now we have... I don't even know where these went exactly. Range is probably in util, right? Oh, it's going to be in here. I think at the bottom, maybe. Range. There we go. Nice. So there's our float range and int range supporting the constructors. Sole constructors. I thought I had different constructors than that. Guess not. I think I'm thinking of... I did a ton of stuff more recently with the, that's right, with PyBind 11, and so I was getting confused with that. There's our constructors. That looks great. And then we also have our particle, which I don't know where that is. Maybe in here. I think so. Oh. It sounds like we have a system now. So I think I need to add that file in. Existing new item. New item, existing item. Alright, let's go back. Source. Oh. Alright. There we go. So this file was automatically generated for us that contains our emitter stuff. It's because it's inside of this. So that's cool that like it did all of that. I don't know if we need this using namespace UI. I'm not surprised, but if it says so. And then we have our Lua user types. This is not being defined, so we need to add that in here. Void soul state. And I believe that is all we need to do. To get this working. Let's go ahead and try to build. So that just exposed our particle stuff and also as well as the range to Lua. And so what we're kind of working towards right now is making it so that we can just change some values and have our emitter like, you know, updating every single frame. So I think what we'll do, I'll play around with it. I don't know what we want to do yet. What is going on? I did not want to do this. So, how are you guys doing? What's new? Okay, so it did not like this. Random is not a class or namespace. Okay, so the problem is with this file, I need to include random.h, and that's in utility. Okay, so we just need to go to here and try to compile this again. I think that's it. Looks like everything else worked. SDL port going slow and steady. Oh, you're porting to SDL. I don't know if I heard that. What's up, Kyle? Dang. Yeah, everyone's porting over to SFML. Sorry, SDL. SDL. That's, yeah. It's, SFML is great, but it's just not good for portability. Actually, like, I'm moving over to SDL, as you know, and then Ben Porter, the developer of MoonQuest, he he also uses SFML, and he decided to. He hasn't moved over to SDL completely, but he was like, the controller support for SFML is not great. And he ended up just porting over, I think, all of his event code, like SFML event stuff, game events, to SDL. Working on Windows and Switch just fine. Nice. Awesome. That's cool. Do you have any like estimates on how long it's going to take? SFML render is terrible, by the way. Yeah. SFML is great, but it's kind of more amateurish, I would say. It's just like it hasn't gone through the gauntlet of getting it onto lots of platforms, and so it's like it works, but there are issues that just haven't been ironed out. Estimates. Yeah, I know, right? Whenever you do release it on the Switch, I'm probably gonna get it and play with it. Play with my brother again. We tried doing multiplayer, and it's just the game is so hard. This is so K6L2 Kyle. He is the dev of Vagante. Hello, what's going on here? I hope this is not like choking. I think it died. I don't know. Yeah, estimates. I know, right? Hey, still alive. It's going really slow. Okay, cool. Hey, compiled. Let's make sure that it's actually running. Rendered the triangle. Nice. So yeah, here's our particles. They're still working. That's good. I didn't think anything would break as long as it compiled. Because all we're doing is exposing stuff to Lua. So now what we need to do is work on making it so that we can I'm thinking just like have a particle emitter that's centered in the screen that keeps like being created or something. It'd be nice to like probably what I need to do really is make this be its own project that compiles, so that way, and it like just does all the like management, because we don't need all the other game stuff. Yeah, I'll think about it. For now we can kind of hack it in here, just get something working. But in the future, yeah, I do think we want to have like our particle editor be a completely separate like executable that just does the particle editor part, and it doesn't have all of the rest of the gameplay loop and everything. Okay, so let's just get that like initial part started. So you're gonna try to add in Vulkan support to things as well? Or I'm guessing not, and you were just playing around with things. Okay, so let's see here. What do we want to do? Yeah, that's what I thought. So do you think you're gonna switch to SDL completely whenever you start your next project? Has this convinced you? I think whenever I asked a while ago, you said you're gonna use the same engine. So maybe this is your port to SDL, and you will just use this engine. Okay, so I'm thinking, what do we want to do here? So what does Siege Demo do? I'm honestly thinking maybe Siege Run. Maybe I should just create a new project. Yeah. SDL is the way to go, yep. You could use my game engine, Siege Engine. Maybe it will be ready to actually be used by the time or I should say by the time you are done with your Vagante port. Whenever I do finish this, I think it's gonna be a super awesome engine. Like, at least for me. I don't know if other people are going to find it as awesome as I do, but so much improved over my previous game engine. So I haven't actually looked at CMake stuff. How is this even working? CMake files. Like, how does it know? CMake lists. Ah, here we go. Set project name Siege. Set test project name Siege demo. Set lib. So, okay, test project name. Okay, so I think what we would want to do for this is say, like particle editor to Siege particles. I just call it. Yeah, we'll call it Siege particles. Okay. So let's see here. So yeah, again, Andrew set all of this stuff up. So I know nothing about this. Add executable. Test project name. So I'm guessing all of those things I need to... Ah, nice. Set C++ standard. Okay, so we'll want to do that as well. I'm afraid I'm like not doing this well. I'll pass it by Andrew before I commit it. Add subdirectory. That's cool. Target include directories. So let's just go ahead and change all these to be particle editor project name. if and def apple. There must be a better way to do this, so we don't have to copy and paste this over and over again. I'm going to ask Andrew about that. For now, I think this will kind of work. So he did this cool thing where you can just say, hey, open, and it will actually like run through all of this. So let's go ahead and close this. There's like one or two things that I have to change about it that need to be fixed up. But overall, this is really cool. So it makes sure it pulls the latest, and then it... Oh wait, what did it say about seed particles? Target include directories cannot specify include directories for that, which is not built by this project. Okay, so I did something wrong there. Project name. How do you add executable? Oh, did I skip that? Add subdirectory. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. I'm guessing that I missed something. Source main. Source seed. Welcome to the club of not knowing. Yeah, I never knew how to do that's all seed stuff, so we definitely want add subdirectory, add executable. Maybe I just need to do it like this. That was the one thing I'm missing, particle editor. Okay, let's try that. Oh, I need to... Hey, there we go, nice. So it actually loaded that up, and it probably, yeah, added in that main.cpp, which is actually not what we want to do quite. We're going to add in a new folder in here and call it seeds particles, I guess. Seeds particles. Yeah, my problem, I never got into make or CMake stuff because, especially for Korea, I was always like feeling that I was behind. Like I pressured myself because I had made this unreasonable timeline for the game project. You know, I was like, oh, it's gonna be done in 6 months, and whenever it, you know, so I was always behind. And after, you know, a year, I'm like, oh, or like 6 months into development or whatever, it's like, I don't want to spend time doing CMake stuff. Let's throw this together as, you know, quickly as I can, get something working, and move on because I'm already past the deadline, and that continued throughout the like 5.5 years of development. So one of the problems right now is that this script is, what is it called again? It's called open.bat. It's using VSWare to try to determine which Visual Studio it should open up with, and for some reason it's choosing VS 2017 rather than 2019. My guess is what Andrew said earlier as well, is that it's a preview. My Visual Studio 2019 is a preview install, and it like is not using that or something. I don't know. Maybe we could look that up really quick. There we go. Pre-release for pre-releases. Nice. Requires products dot star latest pre-release. Okay, let's try that. I closed it, open.bat. Pre-release. Oh, I didn't save it after putting the E in. Nice. Okay, cool. I'll let Andrew know. Okay. So now we have, oh, I wanted to do one more thing, which is change that file, right? For now, what I'll just do is say main. We're going to put this in seeds particles, call it main.cpp. We should probably end up moving this to like seeds demo main.cpp or something. Maybe I'll do that right now. Seeds demo. Okay, so let's close this. So this is pretty cool. Like it just generates all of this. I like it. I do. So we can say source seeds demo, and this one is going to be particles. Did it? It's good. Okay, cool. It's so fast. So this is going to be in seeds particles, and this is seeds demo. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we don't want to use seeds run. We're going to do our own thing here. So we can get like the most basic thing down to start with. So actually, I think what I'll end up doing is copying this over. I guess I need to put it up here, huh? Int or void run. Did I copy over the entire file? I don't think I want to do that. Do I? No, not really. I just want to copy over run for now. Okay, so we're gonna dump that in there, and then we can get rid of like almost all of this. Like we don't need the network stuff. We do need a few things, of course. Okay, so yeah, we'll just clean up a lot of this. We do need a lot of those includes. For now, I'll just copy over pretty much everything, and then what we can do is run that like script that will clean it up for us. Okay, so we don't need all this prefab stuff, prefab stash. We need that. We need most of this stuff. We don't need all of this tile map junk. The lighting we don't need any of this stuff. We don't need the automata systems, animations, spine animations. So this is cool. We can just like, hey, we don't use any of these systems. Let's go ahead and get rid of them. I really like this, that we can so easily get rid of all of that. This is actually a really good example of like how we can kind of reuse a lot of this stuff from the Siege engine for our own like system, like, you know, pretend that we are making our own custom, you know, our own game, and we're just kind of picking and choosing what we want to use. Like eventually I think what we're going to want to do is like move game over into Siege demo, or at least a lot of it. Maybe we need to like change it around to make it a little bit more flexible. Like typically we want some of this stuff to be in here, like you know, this core while loop, this is actually probably something that we always want. Like all games will use that, right? Or I guess it's actually, it's more, it's like all of that, for the most part, minus like a few things like what happens when events are called. Like we can get rid of like, you know, oh, we don't need to create this attack entity, or we don't need this other stuff here with this networking. This is changing what tile is what. We don't need that stuff. So yeah, we can get rid of a lot of this. Quit. We do want that. Yeah. Here's where it's creating particles. So we can get rid of all of that. Here's loading stuff. So we can actually get rid of all of that too. So much stuff to get rid of. As for automata stuff, again, we can get rid of that. So this is, oh, whoops. We do need that. I don't, oh, it doesn't know what that should be. Okay. Getting rid of that. You come up with a better way to do this. Prefab stash watch audio. We don't care about the audio or network. File update. We do need that. PS font. We'll keep that stuff. I think a number of the, or a great deal of this, is that this isn't inside of the Siege namespace, and that's why it's not being able to find a lot of things. I'm probably just going to say using Siege, right? I don't even know how to do that. Using namespace Siege, is that right? Yeah, there we go. So that way we don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's get rid of more things. So we don't have this automata liquid component, or we don't need to use that automata temperature component. We don't need to use that. Lighting. I'm just cutting this all out. Steam API stuff with, we don't need that. Animation load, we don't need that. We do want the fonts to be loaded. Great. Yeah, we're trimming this down. So then this will just be calling the run function. I think that's all. Oh, I guess we can get rid of like the spine component. We're not going to use that here. Collision component, we're not going to use that query. Okay. Good camera viewport. We're gonna need to change how that's working. All right, so I think that's like trimming it all down to just what we need here. I suppose one thing I could add back in just for like test purposes. Where is it? Okay, here we go. This here. That's right after the handle event. And we just want this. For now, we'll just have it be that. We could technically, I guess we can do this. Flatten it out. Okay. Does this compile? No. Says it doesn't know this file system.hpp types. Why is it trying to use that? If it has include. This should work. Maybe I'm missing something with this. Define GT use standard file system. That makes sense. Is there something wrong with this where it's like not? It's the SDK platform toolset. That seems fine. That all seems fine. One thing we do need to change is that the input for both of these is a little off. Let's say all configurations. Dang, that doesn't work. I guess yeah, okay, fine. Oh wait, I can let's oh dang, it doesn't have that many. Okay, never mind. We'll just do them individually, I guess. So the problem is that this actually needs to change. Our Lua is Lua JIT. It's not finding it properly, and I need to go in and update that. So I do think it's lua51.lib. It's just using the installed Lua instead of the Lua JIT inside of our lib folder. So need to change that. Let's go to here. And then I also need to change the debug version as well. So that's something that I absolutely need to fix, because this is, every single time it generates it, it's going to be kind of a pain to like have to go update it and everything. Okay, so it's probably still running into the issue. Why is it 2110? 2110. Yeah, why is it trying to include this? It was greater than 2017-03. How can... What's weird is that it is fine with this. Am I missing something in here? Like... Seems like this is fine. You know, we set the standard here and everything. With Apple. We're not doing that. This project name. Include siege public lib project name. Oh, that's linking. Yeah, that's fine. That's all fine. It looks good. I'm just missing this one thing about, like, why is it trying to link that? That would mean that this is wrong for some reason. What if let's set this as the project. Does that change this? What's weird is that it looks like it's saying that this is valid. Here it says it's 2017-04 and has include. Defined has include. So it's like this wrong. I'm not sure. What we can do is for now, I'm gonna ask Andrew about it. For now, I'm just gonna hack it. I guess the easiest way to hack it would be to just remove this. Maybe both of those, yeah. So it just does that. And I will ask Andrew about it later. Okay, so now it should be able to properly compile that. Color ambiguous symbol. How so? Could be color or could be seeds color. Oh, this right stream is wrong. Whoops. Fix that. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I am back. Build failed. Great. That's what I was hoping for. Says redefinition. Whoops. Oh. I don't even know if that's like a thing you can do. Can you just say union like that? So what was it trying to build here? Maybe let's go to rightstream.cpp. See what this says. Okay. Let's see. Do I even need this? I don't think so. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Hey, I have an idea. Unfortunately, it seems like it has to recompile a bunch of things with that change. So today I went to the chiropractor and it's like, we're gonna try something new. And I said, okay. It's like, have you ever had cupping before? I'm like, cupping, no. And apparently it's just like suction cups that they put on your back, and he like, I don't know, like tightens it by like pressing a button on it. I didn't actually see what they look like. But now I have 4 giant circles that they're like about that size on my back of just like welts where just like, you know, it's like hickeys almost. I said that I got attacked by an octopus. Well, that's what I told my wife. She did not believe me. So yeah, now I can say I've had cupping. Apparently, it's supposed to be helpful in that it kind of indicates to your body that that is an area that needs to be healed, kind of like, you know, by damaging it. It's like, hey, this is broken, come fix it. I don't know how effective it's actually going to be. We'll see. Looks like it did not link that. Yeah, it's not linking Fmod or BGFX. Why not? It looked like that was all good. Well, it's complaining about it in here, right? Wait. No, that's where it's being used. Those are, yeah. What's going on? Why would that not work? Unresolved externals. Do. We're doing release 64. Yeah, so it's linking Siege Engine. That's right. Here's BGFX release. This all seems correct. Unresolved external symbol. Huh. Did I screw something up whenever I changed that one lib? Legit. I mean, this looks fine. Let's see if Siege Demo builds properly. Yep. So there's a difference between these two, and I don't know what it is. So it does say after SDL2 main.lib, they differ. So how are they differing? Let's take a look at that. SDL2 main. So this is here. And what's this one? Oh wait, SDL2 main. Okay, so this one has a SDL2.lib. Oh, huh. It's just in a different order though, that's all. Did I get this wrong? No, that shouldn't matter. What the what? I don't see how this differs. Yeah, that's that. It does look like this has less, right? Yeah, it does seem to be missing some. I'm not entirely sure why. But let's just try to copy this over. Yeah, it's like it's missing multiple BGFXs. Oh, it's missing BX release. I see. It's missing BX release and B image release. Is that it? No, I think it's missing another one. So why is that? Let's take a look at, I keep opening up that wrong one. I don't know. I will have to ask Andrew about that as well. Yeah. Test project name. Maybe it's to do with some of the test project. Yeah, maybe it's actually what's this stuff here? This is for Legit. Okay, yeah. Set up. Yeah, okay, that's whatever. Working directory. Oh, we do want to do that. Target link library. Oh! Is that what's missing? I mistook this. This is all for Apple stuff. Okay. So maybe it's because I forgot to do, or I did not do these things. I don't know what co-tire is. CO2 ire? I have no idea what that is. I wonder. CMake. Compiler time reducer. Oh. That speeds up the build process of the CMake based build systems by fully automating techniques as precompiled header usage and single compilation unit builds. That's cool. I don't know exactly what it's doing there, but so maybe what we want to do are these things as well. But yeah, I have a feeling that there's a much better way to go about doing this than copying and pasting everything. Yeah, if I do this, unfortunately, I guess I don't have to redo that right now. Yeah, let's just do it like this for now. Didn't actually run it, right? Oh, it's missing the Lua jet stuff, right? Oh, did it like automatically update it? Oh, dang, it did. Huh. I changed that file and it like reran all of this. I didn't know it would do that. Okay, good to know. I had no idea. 1.8 loading. Yeah, okay. We'll just close this. Okay. So they should have the same now. So I should be able to just change this all at the same time. So we'll just say this is again legit lib Windows what is it, lua51.lib, and we need to do the same with the debug. You know, we should probably be able to It's being generated though. Never mind. I don't think we can do it. Never mind. Okay, so let's see if this will build now. Legit lib. Oh, I don't think it. Wait. What am I missing here? Libs, legit, libs, x64 Windows, lua51.lib. What am I missing here? Libs. Oh, whoops. I put libjit, not luajit. Fail. Luajit. Yeah, definitely need to fix this up in the script. I'm just not sure why. I probably should have just spent the time to try to figure it out. I haven't even looked at the script yet. CMake, luajit. Open with Sublime Text. Determine architecture, if not. Yeah, this stuff, like, I really don't understand all of this. I don't know, like, where it's find path. Like, I don't know, like, is this the thing that's looking for it? I don't know what you would do to, like, have it prioritize the other stuff. I don't know. Yeah. I guess maybe, like, one thing I could do is just uninstall Lua. And then it would use my luajit instead. Hey, look at that. It actually compiled. Seeds particles. Yay. Let's see if it runs. Nice. So cool. That's actually great. So we now have it so that we are running from here. So let's close everything but this. So we're now doing this. So if I press P, it should create particles. Perfect. But like all the other clicking doesn't do anything. Nice. Okay. This is good. This is a good starting point. So now we can just build onto this. It would be nice to be able to not have to like all of this code is pretty much boilerplate code for the most part. Like this core loop here. Yeah. This stuff, I don't know. Like, well, some of it's going to change. Like, this is going to change. I don't know about this, what we want to do with that. Still figuring out some of this stuff. But anyways, well, we don't need to do audio initialization. We can get rid of that. Some of this stuff does have like specific ordering, so I probably need to figure out a good way to set that up. I think pretty much we always need to have the render system get initialized first. Because stuff like particles, it cares about it because we're going to be using shaders and textures and maybe I should make it so that that's kind of a separate thing. That might be a good idea. Is like you don't initialize the render system, but something else sets this stuff up. I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, so let's get it so that it's creating this. Maybe like every. Let's see. What do we want to do? We do want it to be able to just like die. So what I'm thinking is perhaps we'll just have it so that it's creating this every. I'm wondering if we want it to just like recreate the entity every time it dies. That's what I'm kind of thinking. So we can just like get the size of the screen, set that to be the position instead of this mouse position. So that's the transform bounds. And so we just want to like say, oh yeah, this is going to, I think it's 400, 600, 800, 600. So we could just, for now, do that. Oh wait, 300. Get rid of the mouse position. And then instead of having it do it whenever we press P, what we want it to do is create this. If this entity is dead, then yeah, I think that's all we need to do, right? Something like this. Entity, particle emitter, and I think we could do it like this. Say, entity none. Oh wait, what was that again? Null entity, that's what it's called. Null entity. So we're guaranteed that null entity will never exist. So what we'll do here is we'll just say, hey, if our world, this is actually really cool that we can do something like this. Right, contains, not contains, what is it? Has entity, yes. If it does not have this entity, then we'll create a new one. Period. And we'll just set particle emitter to be that entity. So anytime that entity is destroyed, it just recreates it, sets in the middle. So now, I think that should work nicely, right? Not so nice. It's not running that. Why not? Why is it not? No symbols have been loaded for this document. What? Isn't this the entry point? No? I didn't change this though. Yeah, it's definitely running this other thing. I don't get why it's not wanting to use this or run it, or what's going on. Siege demo. Why is it not being able to debug? Okay, so maybe we need to do. Oh wait. You know what? Now that I think about it, what is it? No, this should be fine. Yeah, we have the entry point here. Yeah, this should be fine. I don't understand why it's not being able to break into it. Maybe it's just because I don't have debug running, and maybe the options changed so that way I can't. I'm not sure. That's what I'm guessing is the problem. Do. We're just waiting for this to compile. It's almost done. Almost done. Lua user types utility. That's so annoying. Like sometimes it just dies. Need to look into that. Really? Is this gonna keep failing now? Just because I added in the float range and int range? Number of sections exceeded object file format limit. Compile with /big object. Oh, that's true. It did get removed probably in here. We might need to add this in. To the list of options. That's gonna make it so it has to recompile everything. Really? Still, did I do this wrong? Maybe I didn't actually hit compile. Nope. Compile with /big obj. Okay, let's look for VS 2019 big OBJ. Command line, enter, yeah. That's exactly what I did. I don't see this working. Additional options. That's exactly what I have right here. Why is this not working? Big OBJ, yeah. Why is this not working? Edit for all configs probably? Yeah, I guess. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. I did it for release. Ah, thank you. That's my problem. I forgot that this thank you. Yes. I didn't realize I only added it for release mode. Like, I have debug here, but it's building, or yeah, I was trying to build debug, but it was changing the configuration for release. It's kind of weird that they. I was wondering, I'm like, I'm gonna have to recompile this, and when it's not recompiling, I'm like, that's weird. Maybe they made it more optimized. I don't know. Thank you, though. So, is anyone going to TwitchCon here? Anyone here going to TwitchCon? I know Mr. Poundstein is. Wondering if anyone else is planning to go do that. Yeah, it actually splits up the UI into two parts because it was so huge. Okay, cool. So that compiled. Excellent. Now we can compile this. Okay, cool. So will it now break? Aha. 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 Yay! So it's just creating that emitter. So soon you can see like it ends right there. And then as soon as it dies, it recreates it. Nice. Cool. So now we have that like most basic thing where it's just it keeps creating this emitter. And so then what we can do is now actually change this up some. I think what we'll want to do is prefab stash. We're actually probably not going to use the prefab stash, huh? We probably don't want that. I think what we want to do is create our own prefab for this, which is fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. It's going to be really simple. I mean, all we need to do is something like what we did. I guess it's really, we just want this code, huh? We just want to create a new prefab and add this in. So maybe we can do that. We'll delete the prefab stash stuff. And so S prefab is really, let's call this particle prefab. I think we just need to do prefab. No, I don't want to do that. Prefab equals null pointer prefab. When we call load, we just get prefab. Okay. So yeah, it's just a prefab. It's just a prefab. As the ID set to 0. I don't know if we really care about that, or does it need to be set to 1? ID, yeah, it needs to be set to 1. And then the name can just be particle emitter. Maybe I'll just call it emitter. Okay. And then after that, let's see here, we're just going to say, let's add emitter prefab, add, and then this will be emitter prefab add data. We don't have any data. That's just going to, we're going to call it particle emitter. That's it, right? Oh, actually that's true, because right now it just says, hey, set up the emitter with this thing. That's true, that's true. We don't have any emitter in the database for it to be set up. Like we're creating that, right? So the key is going to be a little bit different there. This needs to change. Add emitter. I guess it kind of needs to be more like this, right? But this is, no, For now, we'll just have it create a new emitter. So this is an emitter component. And so technically what we want is probably for it to be like, to say, yeah, for right now, we'll just say new particle or new emitter. And so then what we'll do is say Hester new emitter. That should be fine. Cannot be initialized with the value of type emitter. Oh, that's what's the problem, is that this needs to be emitter component. Okay, cool. So now we are getting that all set up. So this is our emitter prefab. So down here, instead of doing this, we'll just say, hey, create it from the emitter prefab. And that does want it to be a pointer, so we'll just say, okay, fine, treat it as a pointer. Yeah. So this should still work. It should be pretty much the exact same, except for now it's not using, okay, pretty much the exact same, except that I did not initialize prefab stash. So load shut down. Okay, so get rid of all the prefab stash stuff. Just to make sure. So we can actually clean up a lot of this right now. So we can get rid of all the spine stuff. Lighting, animation, tile, automata, audio. Where's the prefab? Must be included through something else. Network is another one we don't need. Not gonna need the Steam stuff. Okay. Function uses a lot of bytes, dang. It's because of the world. Just we could do this. The annoying thing then is that we have to. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we probably want to do something else with that, but right now it's fine. Like, world is huge. That's why it's taking up so much space. We probably should like pass world around as a pointer or something. I'm not sure. Get rid of that. Yeah, maybe I should really think about changing that. World create prefab groups. Oh, is this using the prefab stash? Oh, dang. Okay, so I guess I have to initialize the prefab. We're stuck with it. It's okay. Let's stop. We don't have any. I don't know if I need to do anything else. I guess in this case, really what I should do is instead of, yeah, we can initialize it. Watch. We don't need a watch. But let's do this. Instead of this, we'll say prefab stash create. Is this what I should be calling? Shutdown create. I think so. Just need to change this to be a pointer now. Okay, and then down here, this is actually better. And we need to do another thing, which is shut down properly. Okay. So I guess I do need the prefab stash after all. I had forgotten that it's tied together with the world. Hey, there we go. Nice. There, it's doing its thing. So now we're not loading from the prefab stash. So this is all contained, which is good. So the goal is now to make it so that we can change the values of the channel. I think that's like step one, is this make it so we can change that. So how is it that I'm going to get access to this particle emitter? Like, how does the UI know that we want to be changing that? Because I guess actually, now that I think about it, we don't really want to be changing that, huh? What we really want to be changing is what it's using, the data behind it, because all that's doing, yeah. So we need to be changing this emitter. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. So we want to be changing the key for this new emitter. Or sorry, so I guess probably just need a function in here to get the emitter, right? Void get emitter, and this should return. Okay, so this is a good question, is how do we change that? I want to have it be changing the actual, maybe I need to have it be returning a pointer to the emitter. That might be the best way. And then this is going to be a add emitter. We could just pass in the string. Okay, so kind of like this. Say that this is going to return an emitter pointer. We'll say get emitter, and does that. We have the key here. And so then what we want to do is just say, hey, let's get whatever's in here. And that's, and return it by there. Okay, cool. We really want, hey, look at this, one line. Isn't that fancy? So then we can say, let's expose that function. Oh, whoops. Nah, we might want to expose add emitter. Add emitter. No, probably, I don't know what we want to do with that yet. Might be a new thing, which is create an emitter. But for now, we'll just say get emitter. And we need to expose it. So it's in particle. Oh, right. I need to have it redo those. One unfortunate thing about that is it actually does change some files that we technically don't need to be recompiled. I would like to fix that at some point. Okay. So what we're going to want to do with that is in this test UI, I mean, we're going to end up changing this and it's not actually going to be a test UI anymore, but what we should be able to do something like emitter is equal to particle dot get emitter. What do we want? We want to say new emitter, I think is what it's called. I'm gonna get rid of this. That element set text that works. What's this? Maybe what we can do is just have it change one value. So this is like the most basic thing to start with, which is have it change a single value in here. Like maybe what would be one that we could easily notice? Perhaps this. We'll make it so the emitter, so it needs, we need to get the channel. This is one thing. I think it's this channels 0 amount. And unfortunately they don't have incrementing, so you have to do it like this, which is really dumb. You can't say plus equals 1. Lua. I think that's right. And so then one more change we can do is let's make it so that the amount, oh, it's an int range. That's right. Let's have it so that, right. Let's increase the max by 1. See how that works out for us. I don't know if this is actually going to work. We might be missing something. So yeah, new emitter, that seems right. So there's our one. So if I click on, I think it was greetings. Yeah. Attempt to index global particle and nil value. So it tried, but it failed. So it does not like this. Is it particles? No, it is just particle. Hold up. I did something wrong in here. Wait. I don't see it in here. Where would it have gone? It should be in here. Right? Kind of like this. Get or create soul table. That function. Oh, you know what? I know what I did wrong. I forgot to expose the namespace. Dang it. Son of a... That sucks. Okay. It sucks because now I need to... I guess I could... Let's hack it in for right now. Just so I don't have to recompile all of that stuff. I think it should be quite quick to just like throw in here. All it's gonna be is prefab, so let's change that to particle. And then this is gonna change one line here, which is get emitter. And we want to say this is get emitter. Okay. I think that should work. So no, oh, I changed the particle. Wow, does it really cause everything to recompile by changing that one? Because I'm pretty sure I only changed this. What's including particle? Oh, right. I need to change that. I forgot about that. I do need to fix this. Yeah, particles included in component. So anytime this header changes, I have to recompile like everything because component is included in pretty much everything. So much for avoiding a complete recompile, huh? Oops. Oh, it seems to be building pretty fast. Okay, cool. Let's see if I click on this. Does attempt to index a nil value. Does not tell me what is nil. It says 55, so one of these is nil. I don't know which. Channels? I mean, one of these things. Is it printf? I forget how I was printing stuff before. But I think I was printing things before. Log, dialog, turn closable. Is that what I need to do? I forget. Attempt to call global. Okay, maybe it's just print, not printf. Yeah, it would just be print, right? What am I thinking? So print. Go. Okay, so it does have a user data, so that's not nil. Perhaps the channels is nil. Oh, it doesn't have. No, wait, it does have a channel. Never mind, it does have a channel. We'll just try channels. Channel 0. We'll see what it says is what. Are you doing boring things again, Siege? Yes. I strive to do boring things. Thanks for making sure that I am. Always, always. Okay. So it seems that trying to access channel 0 is invalid. Because we can see in here it says as user data, and then nil. I thought I should be able to access it like this. No? Okay, so it's Lua. Shouldn't that be index 1? Oh, maybe you're right. Curses Lua. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy Baramy. Hey, did that work? Hey, nice, it's working. Whee! Nice. Off by Lua exception. Yeah. Cool. So I think it's doing a random number between those two, which kind of gets a little weird. Because I'm not changing the min and the max. I'm only changing the max. So if I were to do both, then that would be... So... We can reload that. So we can actually see it immediately take effect. Wee. Okay, that's awesome, because that means that like now we could, you know, assign this to something. Very cool. I do support changing the UI. You're awesome, thanks. Let me make sure that's working. Text wrapping. What? Where is that at? Where's the text wrappings being set? Word wrap. Ah, there we go. Do not want. I mean, the hair alone. I know, right? Nah. Okay, so yeah, let's make sure that this is working. What could we do to test that out? What I'm thinking... Okay, so I kind of want to... Maybe what we'll end up doing is creating a new file. I mean, and we'll leave test alone. What we'll do, we'll change test a bunch right now, and then in the future, before we like commit all of this, what we'll end up doing is saving it as a new file and then reverting the changes on test.ui. So what I want to do right now is let's change this. Let's say that the handle is going to be, let's say, particles or whatever. Name could be particles. That did not update though. Why is it not updating? I thought it should automatically. Maybe I removed that on accident. Let's go to game.cpp. Oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure I did remove it, huh? UI manager.watch. Do we still have that? Yeah, we do. Huh. Oh, it looks like it kind of tried to update. Kind of. But it failed. What's going on here? So let's go ahead and remove this paragraph. So we can see it removed that, but why is it like, we can remove that button there. Can remove, we'll actually end up wanting a scroll list, so maybe I'll leave that alone for now. But like, why is that not updating? So we changed it so it should say test instead of greetings. Handle button click. Okay. I don't know why that's not working. It also seems to have the padding be kind of weird. Align, let's just say it's top left, right? So that works. Padding is 5. It should be like 5.5, right? Apparently I got that wrong. Let's just say 5 period. That is very wrong. What's going on there? Are we running into issues? It doesn't seem like it. And then this should be, let's see here, on the bottom left. There we go. Why is it not padding, moving it over 5? It must be, maybe it's 5.5. Is that right? No. There we go. That's what I was going for. Huh. Yeah, this has a empty line. I need to fix that. It has like an off by 1. No test cases. I do have some test cases, but I've actually been really bad with my tests. Recently. Why is this not? Some of it is just like, I'm guessing it's the way it's it's updating things. It doesn't, I don't know actually. It's trying to be clever about a lot of stuff. Oh, I know what it is. It's persisting the state. That's what's going on. Bad developer. What? Oh, I'm trying to be good. No, I'm good. I'm a good boy. Just because I have been bad at doing something doesn't mean that I'm bad in general. Right? So I remember one like cool thing I did here is that if it has the same name, it's actually persisting the state. So if I change this to be like, let's just say amount, now it will actually change the name. Because what it was doing is it saves the state, and then it loads up this new UI, and then it goes through and says, hey, anything that had state, or that's like the same object name and everything, like the same inheritance, we try to reload that state. And so having the name of a button is actually, or like the text of a button is the state. And so that gets saved. Now I'm guessing it's the same with the header, which is, I guess, okay. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe I need to support, like, maybe what I should do is add in something in here that just says, hey, remove all of the state, reload this thing fresh. Next to 0 test cases is bad. Actually, I have like 200 test cases. It's just recent development. I have not been adding in test cases. And what we probably need to do is just spend like a few days going back over that stuff. But I have like 200 test cases. Hey, Hollowed Bee, welcome. Well, what are we making and which engine are we using? We're using a custom game engine here. There you go. projectDIG. So it's a 2D automation survival sandbox game that I'm developing here on stream. And right now, at this very moment, what we're doing is we are trying to make a particle editor. So we have this thing in the center here. These are a bunch of like little slime puddings, which is just a graphic that are actually particles that are being spit out, and they're following this here to start with. And so what I want to do is make it so that we have this UI in here that will be able to change what this is. Right now, I have like the most basic test case, which is just having it so that you can click on this button and it adds how many slimes there or particles there are. And so if I click on this a bunch, we'll see even more particles get added in. And whenever we start, it just has one. That's interesting. So it just has one, and then if we like click on this twice, we'll have 3. And yeah, so what we just need to do is add on to this. One thing I'd like to do, is it going to be a cookies clicker kind of thing? Cookies clicker, I don't know what that is. Cookies clicker. You mean the game itself? It's going to be an automation. Clickers must be banned. It's going to be more like Terraria and Factorio, kind of. That's the goal of the game. That's a gross simplification of it, but essentially, side view perspective with automation. Yeah, it's definitely complicated. My previous game is Korea. And why Korea? Because it's my previous game. That's why I mentioned Korea instead of. So it's more closer to Terraria. Do I actually say Terraria? Oh, I say Korea there. I probably should change it. The Nightbot. It's more Terraria. It doesn't have any of the like RPG mechanics that Korea has. So it's more like 2D sandbox game with side view perspective, with automation like building conveyor belts and whatnot. It's going to have item physics, so there's going to be things like item launchers and pistons to help move items around in this 2D world. Okay, so I'm thinking that what we want to do is probably add in some labels here. That's going to be like, this will be amount. Min amount. And it should be populated by, I think what we need to do is get this. And in this case, so it should be based off of like the current channel, which I guess could be just this channel. I don't know if this is what's the best way to treat a number as a string? Lua number as string. To string. Okay, so it sounds like I should be able to say toString channel amount min. Whoops, I got that on the wrong line there. And yeah. Hey, look at that. That's right. That's the default though. That's actually not what I want it to be. Or that's like the placeholder. Add relative. Let me. I forget how this actually works. Edit label.cpp. So it has the placeholder, and then I guess I need to just get the result and then set the text, right? Can overflow set text. Yes. Min amount dot set text. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be saving it. So let's see here. I think we can also change. Oh, I'm probably gonna have to. Yeah, we'll do that in a bit. So we have the max amount. Right. Oh, did not like that. What does it not like here? 20 set text. Oh, whoops. Does that fix it, or is it just now broken? Might be by doing that, it just breaks. Use that for accessing members. That's right. This should be. Oh, whoops. Dang it. So okay, there we go. 1. So if I increment this, oh, it doesn't update that. Yes. That's okay. So unfortunately, I don't have any sort of like binding. There's no data binding here, so I can just like say 2 or like 3 and it changes to 3. Yeah, that's one thing that I mean, I think it's okay to not have data binding, but it just means that for like this sort of thing, I need to add that in. I actually don't know what the best way to do that or how to do that. I think we have a changed like callback, and so that's probably what I need to do. Let me take a look at that. So there's edit label. Do we have like a changed function or something? How do we handle event? I suppose one thing it could do is this every single frame it sets that data according to it, maybe. Oh, here we go. Oh, duh. Right. I forgot about this stuff. So this is an event. Edit label. Let me look at button.h. How do we handle this? So whenever you click on it, What does it do? I have completely forgotten how this all works. Yay. I thought there would be an event in here. Handle event. That's definitely not it. Update style. Oh, right. It's on the base element. Luavar read only. Yeah, there we go. Event UI on show. Right. An event UI is an event that takes a sole object. Okay, so we actually don't have support for this right now. So we can try to add that in. Not this. Missing event. Yeah, I think it doesn't know how to handle that. Let me see. I just do that for now. Yeah, it still gets upset about this. 102, 103. What about this? It doesn't like something about this. Dang. I wish I did this some other way. Lure expose. Back to here. Read only. I did add this stuff in, so that's good, but it's still running into an issue with this. I just have to debug it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna call it a stream there though. Yeah, it's a good length stream, and I'm kind of hungry, and I also didn't sleep all too well last night. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. We did make some good progress. We got like a bunch of things set up, and yeah, I might work on this specific thing off stream maybe, just because it's not super interesting. This kind of support stuff. But anyways, thank you for joining. If you enjoyed the stream, feel free to follow. Feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow afternoon. Take care.